ready.
You yell ready for what?
You think that Jason Bourne was the whole story? There's a lot more going on here.
What the hell don't I know about this?
All right, let's roll, please. Action!
The audiences love this franchise, so it's pretty exciting to take on such a responsibility.
It's a complete offshoot from the trilogy that came before.
Find him fast and kill him.
We wanted to create a larger conspiracy. The Treadstone program that you saw was only one program.
Jason Bourne isn't the only agent that's out there.
Who the hell is he?
He's an outcome agent.
It's Aaron Cross. We have never seen evaluations like this.
Aaron Cross has to join this program and then gives his life over, no matter the good or bad. I've never met anybody in the program before. So how many of us are there?
You ask too many questions.
Treadstone has a new layer to its work called outcome.
There are people who are geared to get into the most dangerous, high-level national interest affair and accomplish something that goes far beyond killing. So it's a legitimate function what Aaron Cross is asked to do.
I wasn't expecting you so soon. You beat the record by 2 days. Wasn't your record, was it? It's a whole new spin on how and why these super soldier spies are the way they are, and they can't really control them. They're too smart.
I want a marrow and a full spinal while we have it.
Okay. Well, Marta's working at the cutting edge of science, and she's incredibly excited by what she's doing.
How is he?
He's cramped.
Oh, that has healed well.
Jeremy's character at the beginning is controlled by my character through the science, so it's a really unusual relationship.
You've had alterations made to 2 different chromosomes. Muscle efficiency, pain suppression. It's the most exciting development in the history of the science.
Well, I'm not just a science project, Doc.
This story is taking place at the same exact time as the last movie took place.
This guy's a writer for The Guardian. He's preparing an expose on Treadstone and Blackbriar.
The FBI is investigating links between Treadstone and this man, Jason Bourne.
And so you have characters who are responding to things from the previous Bourne movies.
Rick Byer.
Bourne is here in New York. What? That's all I have. Gotta go.
My character is the chess master, in a way. Where are we? 30 seconds.
Rick Byer is essentially playing the mastermind of the 3 previous films that you didn't know about. He's the person who's designed these programs.
Here we go.
Byer is somebody who couldn't do what he's doing.
Target destroyed.
If he didn't believe in the larger purpose, if he had to assess what he does at face value, it would be hard not to look at it in a very negative light.
Do you know what a sin eater is? Well, that's what we are. We are the sin eaters. That is the job. We are morally indefensible and absolutely necessary. You understand?
You don't have to make a moral evaluation. Everything is based on necessity of the moment.
We start to consider the magnitude of what we're facing if this moves sideways on us. Just pray that that doesn't happen.
Fear creeps in pretty easily.
What's the damage?
Burn the program to the ground. And I mean from top to bottom.
All hell breaks loose. I did everything I was supposed to. And now people want to kill me.
Listen to me. Do you want to live? Look at me. Do you want to live? Do you want to live?
Yes!
Good.
There really is no one else to turn to. They end up completely reliant on one another.
I need you to do exactly what I say.
They're on the run from the world, and they become incredibly vulnerable to one another.
You can't call anyone, right?
She's not a superhero. She's just a very regular woman who happens to be good at science, and she has to fight for her life.
And this fight to survive, it's run and gun from that point on.
We have less than 8 minutes to clear out of here. It's the next thing coming through that door. He's gonna wipe us out.
Come on, she's not pulling this off on her own. Who the hell is helping her?
Just so proud of our casting. On any movie, the tone of the show is set by 2 people. It's set by the director and by the star. And Jeremy's an amazing actor.
He really brings the strength of the character that we were looking for in Aaron Cross. He is this agent. He's able to really emote without saying things.
You go this way, right? Yeah.
Jeremy is very much involved into everything.
I love working with Jeremy. It's very free and loose and pretty wild and really wonderful to work with. I've loved every minute opposite him. We have a really similar way of working as actors, which is we don't like rehearsing, either of us, nor does Tony. Tony has a very rock and roll spirit, which is let's find chaos and abandon and let go, which is really good for acting. So I'm happy to be in his band.
Rachel's a spectacular actress.
When I go to work, I like to learn something every day. And then when you have actresses like Rachel Weisz in this movie that I learn from every day, it makes me better. It's really terrific.
You can't make chemistry. It just happens. And our two characters, played by Rachel and Jeremy, it really works.
I gave them everything. We both did.
And there are moments of intimacy that come because they need each other to stay alive.
It's a very deeply personal film for Rachel Weisz and Jeremy's characters. They really go through a lot. And in the midst of everything, you have these two characters who connect.
We're almost there.
In making the Bourne movies, we always end up going to at least 2 or 3 exotic locations. And it's challenging. It's much harder than making movies on familiar territory.
We went to a very cold place just outside of Calgary.
The great advantage here in Kananaskis is it has the features we were looking for. We needed very dramatic, high mountains with rocky peaks, no civilization, very wild. We were able to do a lot of aerial work where we could get long stretches of mountains that felt like they were incredibly isolated. We needed the cabin location, which was in the woods in a valley, surrounded by tall trees. We needed woods where we dealt with all the wolves.
We had a very limited schedule to shoot there, and that was weather dependent, and there was really no room to fail.
This is Elbow Falls, and the same geologic forces that made the Rocky Mountains have formed these foothills that are around us. So we have a water theme at the beginning of all the movies, and we left the last movie in the water, and we're going to start this movie with Aaron Cross in the waters.
The water was like 45 degrees. And it's really, really dangerous to go in 45-degree water with no clothes on.
That's what I was so stressed about. How do you prepare for that? Just go get cold. That's it. But it actually wasn't so bad. But once I did it, I was like, okay. Ended up doing it with no wetsuit.
Ice was forming on his beard by the time he walked the 30 yards up to the fire that he'd prepared. I mean, it was literally already icing up.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not jumping in the water again. But I'm glad I did it.
This character has to be tough, and certainly going into almost freezing water and coming out and walking up to the fire shows what he's made of.
And then on the complete other side of the world, we went to the Philippines. We went to Manila.
The city had this great look, this very Bourne-ish, gritty look. And they also had a film infrastructure that said they could deliver, and they had an appetite for it.
The Philippines has played almost any country, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Panama. It's only now that we're filming Manila's Manila, which is great for us. We had to have presidential approval. Fortunately, he is a fan of Bourne. In fact, he was saying, oh, really, Bourne?
But we actually found things along the way. There was a sequence in the film, chasm sequence. So that was something that was an alleyway that we saw in Saigon. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. This got to be in a movie.
So at 22 inches, this is the narrowest set in the Bourne legacy. Maybe the narrowest set in the history of movies. It's part of the chase scene, and Rachel will be running, gets stopped by a police officer, and then she'll be trapped, and then Aaron Cross saves the day. So it's a pretty fun set, and there is an escape hatch.
We're using the bus station, we're running through the various different streets, the fish port, holding traffic by just driving through the real city. It's not a film set.
As you can see, we got about 300 guys helping us close the street and have some order in the streets.
There's 18 million people who live here. There's traffic jams. It's hard to move around in.
Oh, that we can't stop. We can't stop.
Background actor.
It's been great shooting in Manila. It's always hard to shoot in a city because life goes on and you're disrupting the life. People here have been really wonderful.
For a big production to come there, it was really exciting for us and for them as well. They really enjoyed us and welcomed us there.
As is usual for a Bourne movie, we're in a lot of different places.
We are down near the Federal Plaza in downtown Manhattan, and it's doubling for Washington, D.C. I love to be outside. This is one of the things that really is exciting about making a movie. I love being out in the city with the people. There's always something new happening, a new challenge. For example, suddenly we have something happening down here, and there are 3 or 4 helicopters over. Luckily, we're shooting a scene that involves the press and everything, so you could believe that helicopters were covering it too. So we're just going to go with it. You know, you're constantly trying to make things work, and that's what's exciting out here.
People love the locations, they love the characters, but they really like the action.
The thing I like about this movie is the stunts feel and look very realistic.
I'm always trying to find ways to make the action just feel kind of relentlessly real.
There's absolute plausibility to everything, no matter what the stunt is. It's all based in reality and truth.
Jeremy, he's naturally very sporty and athletic. For him, doing the fight sequences, he makes it look so easy.
Jeremy would make a fantastic stuntman if he wasn't already a fantastic actor. Very often I'll use some long-learned camera tricks to make things a little edgier, a little faster, and I had to throw all those away with Jeremy because he's so naturally fast.
Jeremy's very meticulous about his body mechanics, his explosiveness.
He's incredibly physical, and he's a movie athlete.
He's very fast with his hands, so I gotta make the fights design around what I think he looks best doing, which is short, direct movements. He's taking the bumps, he's taking the hits. The audience is more savvy. So with these movies, you're in there the whole time, and you see that your main actor is actually doing these things. It's him physically doing it.
These outcome agents have an increased physical ability. So I thought we should exploit that. Aaron Cross is more brutal. He has more strength. And Jeremy brings to it incredible speed. Watching Jeremy work, it's hard to believe that he isn't a lifelong martial artist. He's a guy who's learning it as he goes. And he's pretty phenomenal. There was an immense challenge in figuring out the action in Manila. From the streets that were just clogged with traffic to the rooftop chase.
Okay, guys, picture is up. Everyone ready?
The rooftops were so dangerous. You couldn't step on them.
Okay, here we go, guys.
So we rebuilt close to 60 rooftops. So 60 people in this neighborhood got the roofs completely rebuilt. And built stronger than it had ever been because there are going to be 25 second unit crew members marching across the rooftops, dragging cameras around. We were actually able to find some new things to do based on what Manila supplied. For the first time, we see a guy climbing a wall that's all rebar, and you don't find that in very many places. And then he's running from rebar to rebar to leap across the alleyways.
The thing about stunts is you can't really explain them, you just have to do them. And we had harnesses on, but I had to jump off the side of a bridge onto a moving bus, and the bridge was very high up, and it was 90 degrees and humid and thousands of people running around. It was chaos, but I've actually felt very safe. Maybe I'm completely deluded, but I feel completely safe.
We have a motorcycle chase, which is very extensive.
My very first meeting about this movie, they laid this motorcycle chase for me, and I just like, really? A motorcycle chase? In our style? Wow. How are we going to pull this off? Because you want to see the guys doing it. You want to see Jeremy Renner as Aaron Cross on a motorcycle.
That's the hardest thing to do. Car chases are very easy. People are inside cars. You can put green screen outside. But motorcycles, there's no hiding.
We asked Jeremy, can you ride a bike? And the next time we saw him, he arrived on a giant Harley, so we knew it was okay.
Actually, Jeremy was so good When they took him out to the track the first time, they came back, they were like, oh my God, wow, he can do this and this and this and this and this. We don't have to double this.
He's very, very relaxed and in control of the bike.
We did some really cool stuff. Things that have never been done on a motorcycle.
The idea about doing a rail grind with a motorcycle is that I wanted to get Aaron and Marta cornered with no way out on this bridge. And I really wanted something interesting and something cool for Aaron to do. So I had this idea, and it's based on this trials riding, that he can jump the bike and put the motor on the concrete handrail for the stairway and slide the bike down the handrail.
I'm not really a rider, so I had to just trust Jeremy and surrender. There was also, hundreds and hundreds of extras driving jeepneys and cars around us that we were weaving in and out of. He was doing wheelies and skids and slides.
When you're on the back of a motorcycle, you don't have any control. So it's the scariest thing. So I have nothing but incredible admiration for Rachel, because she stood up, she got on the back of a motorcycle with Jeremy riding and did some great shots. She was on a bike on a rig, and it's doing 35 miles an hour, and the bike spins and falls down. There's real air, there's real scenery and real concrete columns going by. We put her through the ringer. She was a champ.
The good thing about it was I didn't have to act. I was just absolutely terrified, and so was my character, which is really good for acting.
It was a very challenging shoot, but we succeeded. There's miles of footage of Jeremy and Rachel on that motorcycle.
Dan Bradley is the Michelangelo of action at this point in the world. I mean, he's a really amazing guy and imaginative nut.
He's really collaborative. He's not a guy that you hire and you just sort of bolt him into the process. He's part of the family.
I love me some Dan Bradley. He's the man responsible. It's just his world. He'll do whatever he can to make it the best it can be, and make it as kick-ass, as he would say, as it can be.
I'm very proud of the stuff we did there.
There's a whole wolf sequence in the film between Jeremy and one of the wolves.
And there's wolves running around, he's face to face with a wolf.
Action! Bring him, snarl. We went around and did, you could say, wolf casting and picked the best wolves for this project. We trained for about 6 weeks prior to our first day of shooting. And we have to make them very menacing and bare their teeth. And so through our training, we create a menacing attitude with them. Good. They also have to approach Jeremy very slowly. Hold the scope. But they're always on the move. They always want to go from A to B, and they don't want to take their time doing it. One tree. They want them to look at the camera. The eye line is very important, and it's a very difficult thing for us to have the animal give a proper eye line.
Jason Bourne was the tip of the iceberg.
The great thing about this film is the amazing balance between action, adventure, intrigue, suspense.
They're not dead? I thought they were dead.
That combination keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Do not try to take him.
You should have left me alone.
The Bourne legacy is raw, exciting, dangerous, edgy, sexy. And the stakes really don't get any higher.
The idea of it being someone constantly fighting to survive. It's pretty exciting.
They're really up against it all the time.
You're asking me to wipe the most valuable intel gathering assets we've ever put in the field.
The film has lots of fun twists and turns.
I'm sorry, but right now this is it.
It is high octane. It keeps the audience guessing.
Hey!